Okay, time for a new video, and whether you are somebody new to my channel or you are returning to my channel to watch this video, it is greatly appreciated. As always, I'm filming this video in one go, so if I stumble over my words moving forwards, apologies about that, and also if the quality of this video is fairly poor as well. If there's any lag, anything like that at all, sadly it cannot be helped, and hopefully it is not too much of an issue for you. This is yet another Eurovision related video here on my channel, or rather, a Junior Eurovision related video here on my channel. It's a very rare thing for me to sit here in late August and talk about the Junior Eurovision Song Contest. But earlier today, there was some very interesting news that really did come out of the blue. I was not expecting it whatsoever. I'm sure you've seen the news by now as well. But the United Kingdom will be back for the 20th edition of the Eurovision Song Contest, the Junior Eurovision Song Contest I should say, which will take place this December in Yerevan, the capital city of Armenia. And what I'm going to do in this video is really just talk about the UK's short history with regards to Junior Eurovision, and talk about what I'd like to see from us later in the year. It really is quite surprising news. I wasn't expecting anything like it whatsoever. But it's very welcome. I'm thrilled that the UK as a whole will be back. Of course, we have had Wales compete by themselves in the past with very little success, it must be said. So yeah, let me know your thoughts about this, of course, in the comments below. And as always, check out the links in the description to my other social media pages if you so wish, including the relatively new Instagram page that I am co-running with a really good friend of mine. So, I have some information here to make sure I don't forget anything. This is on the Junior Eurovision website. The BBC has confirmed that the United Kingdom will participate in Junior Eurovision for the first time since 2005, and that it will broadcast the 2022 contest live on CBBC, BBC One and BBC iPlayer. For those of you that don't know, CBBC is essentially the children's branch of the BBC. The fact that they're going to be showing this live on the main TV station in the UK is a pretty big deal. I think that shows that they are going to be taking this very seriously, as they did with the Grown Up contest earlier this year. Very, very interesting indeed. In the past, when the UK competed, it was with ITV, which is sort of the secondary main TV station here in the UK, and it's now switched to the BBC, who organise our details and what have you for the Grown Up contest every year. That's a really big deal. I think certainly a lot of people here in the UK are probably completely unaware that there is a junior edition of the show, which is also very popular. So I think the fact it's going to be on our main TV station in December, that's going to get a lot of people talking perhaps. Hopefully positively as well. The 20th JESC will take place in Yerevan on Sunday the 11th of December. Now I have checked this. The FIFA World Cup is taking place this winter, and obviously that will dominate the TV listings at that time of year. The BBC and ITV alternate between games. The 11th of December is pretty good because there's no FIFA World Cup game scheduled for that day, so it's clear for the BBC. Anyway, Armenia won last year, of course, with Kami Kami, which is just a terrific track. I said it at the time, I'll say it again now. That song could easily have pushed for the win in the Grown Up contest. It will be the first time the BBC has taken part, as previous participations were organised, as I said a moment ago, by ITV. The process to select the act and song is now underway. I'm getting the feeling that it's going to be an internal selection. I really don't know. I suppose the BBC and CBBC could organise a national final. That's certainly a possibility, and then you could have lots of events on TV where people can vote and things like that. I don't know. The act and song will be announced in due course, as will the commentators, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed. I've no idea who the commentators could be. I suppose it would be probably Vic Hope is the first name that springs to mind. She does a lot of radio work. And maybe some other TV presenter who presents shows for kids as well. I can't really think of anybody. Anyway, Patricia Hidalgo, the director of BBC Children's in Education, says, "We are beyond excited, and to showcase, blah blah blah, the diverse young musical talent from across Europe, and for their families to discover and enjoy together. This junior version will undoubtedly encapsulate the same spirit of unity that the adult contest brings, reflecting the heart of what CBBC is all about, an inclusive channel that celebrates the diversity and creativity in all children. I can't wait to unveil our own musical talent, who will proudly represent the UK. It'll be interesting to see, first and foremost, if we have a song that's not in English, because Ireland always sing in Irish, which is in complete contrast to what they do in the grown-up contest. So I would like to see, and hear, potentially, certainly if we have a national final format, I would like to hear a song in Scots Gaelic. I would like to hear a song in Welsh. Because why not? In Cornish, I'm all for it. I really am. If you're talking about diversity, those languages need to be on display. The UK took part in the first JESC in 2003 in Copenhagen, where Tom Morley finished third with My Song for the World. What a cheesy track that was. 2 further participations followed, with Corey Spedding finishing second and Joni Fuller finishing 14th. Wales participated via S4C, that's the Welsh broadcaster of course, in 2018, with Manu and Erin May in 2019, and they did have a national final format. So, it is going to be on the 11th of December, I think that's a Sunday, at the Karen Demircyan Sports and Concerts Complex, which has hosted Junior Eurovision before, back in 2011. We do know that a whole bunch of countries, 17 so far, will be competing in this year's JESC. Albania are selecting their act in September. Then, of course, we have Armenia, Bulgaria, France. Georgia will be represented by Mariam Bigvava. Ireland, Italy, Kazakhstan will be represented by David Charlin. Malta, the Netherlands, North Macedonia have Lara and Irina. Poland, Portugal have Nicolas Alves, and I think that's going to be a sort of rocky song, so I've heard. Serbia, Spain, Ukraine, and the UK. Of course, it will be very interesting to see if Ukraine walk Junior Eurovision later this year, as they sort of did with the adult competition in Turin several months ago. There's a whole bunch of other details as well. Italy are broadcasting Junior Eurovision this year on their main TV station too, Rai 1. I think that's the first time that's happening for them as well. Pretty interesting. I think the interest in Junior Eurovision, it has been going for, 20 years now pretty much, but I think the interest is growing more and more in certain nations and being revitalised in other countries, like here in the UK. I don't think for 1 minute we would have been back in JESC had Sam Ryder not finished second in Turin. Anyway, let's see what it says here as well. United Kingdom in the Junior Eurovision Song Contest. Some of you might not know that the UK was scheduled to host the 2004 contest in Manchester. But we pulled out of doing so because of financial and scheduling reasons. So there we go. It says here, in 2003, the contest was broadcast live on ITV. I do vaguely remember watching it, I really do. Certainly I remember parts of the 2005 contest. I remember Shake, Shake, Shake by Denmark. In 2004, I remember the Dutch entry, Gijs in Kai, which I'm totally mispronouncing. I do remember that song. I remember watching it downstairs, I really do. And then for so many years, we didn't compete, of course. I didn't really follow the contest online at all. And then I started watching the live broadcasts on YouTube. And now, obviously, it's going to be back on TV. So later in the year, I'll be able to react to it on my television rather than watching the live stream. What else does it say here? The broadcaster decided to relegate it and the national final to... I don't remember the national finals at all. To ITV2 for the next 2 years due to poor viewing figures. I wonder what the viewing figures will be for Junior Eurovision on BBC One later in the year. Probably about 2 million, maybe. Maybe that's wishful thinking. I think that would be very reasonable, absolutely. You're not going to get huge numbers for this. The first contest on ITV, 5 million viewers on average. 1.9 million watched the 2004 contest on delay. 221,000 watched it live. And in 2005, 700,000 viewers on ITV. 171,000 watching live on ITV2. In July 2020, it was reported the BBC were considering participation in Warsaw, but then we weren't on the list of participants. And then the EBU said in 2021 that they were working to bring the UK back, possibly for the 2021 edition, but we weren't on the list of participants. Then we've got, obviously, details about Wales. There was talk about a possible Scottish debut. Of course, if Scotland go independent in their next referendum, which I believe is scheduled for next year, then I suppose we could have the UK and Scotland competing against each other. I don't really know. Anyway, let me see here. Can I find out anything? Here we go. 2003. We had a national final in September of that year. It was presented by Mark Durden-Smith, who I know best for doing sports presenting, and Tara Palmer-Tompkinson, who sadly passed away a few years ago. Tom Morley came out on top. My Song for the World, an okay ballad. He was on stage in Copenhagen wearing this sort of buttoned-up shirt. Blue lighting, fairly forgettable stuff. He only won the national final by 2 points, but he did very well in that year's competition. In 2004, our national final was on September the 4th. Holly Willoughby, who is a very well-known TV presenter here. Stephen Mulhern, also very well-known, and he did start out doing children's television. And Michael Underwood presented that national final. He doesn't do much these days. Corey Spedding came out on top. Really nice song, this. Again, a bit cheesy. The best is yet to come. The contest was in Lillehammer that year, I believe. She was behind the piano. Spain won, and rightly so. That was the better track. But this is a really lovely song. Won by a point ahead of Andrew Merry, who appeared on The X Factor at some point, and Nathan Sykes, who went on to become part of The Wanted, a very successful boy band here in the UK. They had success in America as well. So there we go, lovely stuff. And then in 2005, our national final was again on September the 4th. Joni Fuller came out on top with How Does It Feel? I think she had a violin. Not a particularly great song at all. She was sort of on the runway. I think what put a lot of people off perhaps was her actual way of singing. I don't know. If you've heard the song, you'll know what I'm on about. Jack Garrett finished last in the national final, but a few years ago he won the Critics' Choice Award at the Brit Awards, and his debut album reached number 3 in the UK charts. And yet, all those years ago, he was rock bottom of a Junior Eurovision national final, which was hosted by Michael Underwood and Nikki Sanderson, who was, and still is, an actress. Yes, indeed. What an interesting choice as a host. Anyway, there we go. That's the UK's potted history in Junior Eurovision. I'll have to have a think about who our commentators could be. I've absolutely no idea about who could represent us. But I've got high hopes. It seems as though the BBC are taking this very seriously, working in partnership with CBBC as well, which I haven't watched for a very long time because I'm too old now. But yeah, I'm excited to see what we bring to the table, what result we'll get. I think it's a really big deal. And in fact, I wouldn't be surprised if this sort of has a ripple effect now. Maybe we'll see Germany change their mind. I know that they have withdrawn from this year's competition, but maybe they'll want to come back in the future because the UK are coming back. Maybe other countries as well will change their mind, or maybe they'll want to debut. There's been talk about Iceland debuting for years. That would be really cool, no pun intended. But we'll wait and see. Absolutely, this has turned out to be a massive ramble. But let me know your thoughts. Genuinely interested to know. Let me know if you remember watching the older Junior Eurovisions on TV here in the UK, your thoughts on the UK's previous entries. Let me know if you've got any ideas as to who our commentators could be, and the sort of song that you'd like the UK to send. It's all very welcome. Feel free to let me know. And until next time, there will be more videos coming soon, absolutely. However, I have a feeling that I won't have as much time in the near future. We'll see. Anyway, until then, take care of yourselves, stay safe, and let me know your thoughts. Bye for now.